What do we have for Scorpio? Knight of Pentacles, Earth energy at the foundation of the reading, Scorpio. Scorpio, leading up to your reading, I was getting some messages surrounding something that you are manifesting, something that you are heading towards, and the need for you to let go and let things flow. There's an energy where you're trying to force some sort of change. You're trying to force your will on something to happen within a certain time frame that you want it to happen in. And one of the things that the Scorpio energy must learn is stillness. See, Scorpio is actually a fixed energy, meaning that you don't really like change. You like what you like. You like comfort. So what's interesting here is, even though the Scorpio archetype doesn't necessarily like change, it can quite often find itself trying to force change. So this is Spirit wanting you to stay within your energetic zone and allow things to transform organically here. There's quite a big manifestation that you have on the horizon line, Scorpio, and this Knight of Pentacles here is confirming to us that you're actually going to get there. See, the Knight of Pentacles, to me, is like a tank. Nothing can stop it. And even though it moves very slowly, it always gets to its destination. It achieves its purpose. And it can also be an energy that speaks about sitting back and enjoying the journey. See, Scorpio, your archetype also tells us that a lot of your story, if not your entire story, has to do with the journey you're on, not the actual destination. Okay? And quite often, being a Scorpio myself, you don't realize this until you're at the destination. You look back and it's very clear to you that that journey is where your story is written. See, people don't want to hear about the destination as much as they do about every step that you had to take to get there. See, that's where the magic is. That's where the gold is. So again, Spirit wants you to really be still, become present in the space that you're in right now, no matter what that looks like, Scorpio, because there's a reason you're in that space. It's because you have to extract some sort of wisdom, something very useful, a tool, so to speak, that is going to serve you as you move forward. What do we have at the sacral, please? Three of Wands, Aries energy at the sacral. Now, the Three of Wands here follows what we're picking up here perfectly, because as you can see, you're literally on a journey. And it's like you've reached this point in the journey and you're like, oh, wait. It's like you reach this point in the journey, and this also really speaks about the Scorpio energy, and you're before Source, God, the divine. God says to you, hey, Scorpio, so tell me about the journey. And you say to God, well, I wasn't really paying attention. I was just trying to hurry up and get here. And God says, Scorpio, all right, turn around and go back. And don't forget to take notes this time. Now, this is just a really humorous way of speaking about the karmic cycle that we can all find ourselves in as Scorpios. See, because you are the archetype that literally represents transformation, you are the 8th house of transformation. You are the phoenix that rises out of the ashes. That's you. That's what you represent. But it's not the actual transformation that matters. It's all of the steps, again, that lead up to that transformation that other people need to know about to help them through their journey. As Scorpios, we can often find ourselves repeating these same karmic cycles year after year until we finally get it. And I'm hearing something about 7 years, 3.5 years. Sometimes I'll mention these clusters of years in readings, and these are clear examples of how long certain karmic cycles can run. I'm also seeing 21 in my mind's eye, okay? So karmic cycles, depending on what they really are, can run for multiple years until you sort of wake up to them, okay? It's like getting to a point in your life feeling like everything is just a repeating pattern, a sort of broken film strip or just a movie that you feel you're living inside of. I'm also hearing something about deja vu. So there could be something about a past life connection here for a lot of you. So this is telling me that in this lifetime, Scorpio, a lot of you are actually completing karmic cycles that you didn't complete in your previous life cycle. It's like you've picked up where you've left off. So this could be why you're getting some sort of deja vu. It's like there's another version of you on a parallel timeline that hasn't quite finished what you're about to finish. And then there's another version of you on a higher timeline that has already completed what you're getting ready to finish. Okay. So past you, the you in the here and now, and your higher self, which can be future you. There's some sort of alignment taking place here. But a lot of this has to do with some sort of vision that you have as well, this thing that you're manifesting. I'm also hearing something about you revisiting an old idea or project that you may have put on the back burner. This can be seen as your stars aligning, okay? But again, you have to surrender to the divine's will. The divine wants this story to be written a very specific way, Scorpio, so you mustn't try and force your hand over what the divine has planned for you, okay? Everything is going to work out here. All you have to do is basically sit back and go with the flow and follow this blueprint that the divine has laid out for you. Do your best to pay attention to everything that's going on around you right now, Scorpio. Just really feel this moment, because there will be a time in the future when you look back on this very moment where you're going to find yourself feeling grateful for the storms that you had to endure to get to that moment in the future, because you understand that every step that you took to get to that space was absolutely necessary. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? 9 of Pentacles, Virgo energy at the solar plexus. Now, the 9 of Pentacles here is really putting an emphasis on what I mentioned about this culmination. Scorpio, I feel that a lot of you have been through so much that you don't even know where to start. And I feel that Spirit is paving a path for you that is leading you to some sort of wish, some sort of vision that you have had for your life. But it's because of the way you've been moving. And this is all a result of you surrendering, okay? So some of you may already be in this energy. Some of you are preparing to transition on to this energy. It's imminent. And then some of you are just now starting out on this path. And this reading here is a look into the future of what you can expect if you begin to move according to Spirit's will for your life and this manifestation. Scorpio, I also feel that you're at a point in your life where you're beginning to realize a lot of the things that you were trying to succeed at or manifest in the past were all things that Spirit needed you to do on your own. It's like you had to learn how to do things on your own without the need for any sort of acceptance or validation from other people. And I feel that a lot of this has to do with family. It's like family may not have been in agreement with the path that you're currently on, but it's actually starting to work out for you. And the simplest way that I can put this is that you have a vision, and unfortunately, other people are simply not going to be able to see things as clearly as you because they haven't been down that path. So depending on where you are in accordance with the timeline that I'm picking up here, it's very important that you stay focused on your vision and not allow other people to scramble that. More often than not, I hear about Scorpios finally stepping into their power, and that sees them entering a space surrounded by a vision that they had years, even decades before that moment. That vision was something that people tried to take from them or just stop them from going towards. Maybe they were enemies, maybe there were people that just didn't understand their vision. But whatever it is, right from the moment of inception, let's just say, you already have a good idea of how things are going to turn out. But it's like you go through a lifetime taking every alternate path only to realize that the original idea that you had was the winning idea. You know, basic example of this is when you have an idea for something, people inject their opinion or maybe they give their unsolicited advice and it influences you to change course. And years can be wasted when you start going in a different direction. And in a lot of cases, you may lose steam altogether or hope that that vision is even going to come together. So maybe you just put it down, right? Or you put it on the back burner. You give up, so to speak, in that moment because you just think it's not for you. And then life just begins to happen and you find yourself disconnecting from people, or maybe people just grow apart. So you pick that thing back up, or you just start to focus on it more. And lo and behold, it actually begins to come into focus and it feels almost easy, like you're in the flow, you're moving with the natural order for the divine's will for your life. See, in a lot of cases, Scorpios are surrounded by people who are in direct opposition with what they're trying to manifest. And you'll never figure that out right from the very beginning. But you not figuring it out, going in the opposite direction, maybe giving up on that thing and then finding it again, is the literal magic in your story. There's hope in that story. I believe that all Scorpios have had a story of hope written into their mission in this life cycle. It's like the path you have to walk has the ability to lift another up, but it takes you to realize it first. You have been given access to certain keys, so to speak, that others have not, Scorpio, but you're always the last to know it. You're always the last to believe it. You feel it. Your soul is screaming at you about it, but you'll pass it off as just being a dreamer before you actually realize that that voice screaming at you from within is you on an alternate timeline who's already there. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow, unbelievable. Literally followed what we just said. Look at that. 9 to the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is your divine inheritance. This is it. I couldn't have asked for any other card to follow what I said as perfectly as this 10 of Pentacles, Scorpio. This is your legacy, okay? But the thing is, you actually have to believe it for it to happen. Life is far too short to second guess the actual vision that God himself placed inside of you to realize and become. I mentioned that you were given keys, right? That others weren't. And it's interesting because that's clearly a child. And then we have this treasure chest, right? It's like you were given the keys from the moment of inception. You've always had this inside of you. Yeah, I'm hearing something about it coming down to you matching the vibrational frequency of this particular manifestation. For a lot of you, this is some sort of dream realized, okay? It's like you've always wanted to do something. And I just want to be clear here, okay, that when it comes to a dream or something that you've always wanted to do, it's something that you're naturally good at, okay? I'm not telling you to go out and try and be a pop star because you've always wanted to be a pop star, but you don't have those particular talents or tools to be able to do it. This is not at all what I'm talking about here. We're not selling dreams, okay? This is something that is already inside of you. It's like you're already a good artist. You're already a good musician. You're already a good public speaker. You just have yet to really put enough focus into these things to actually be able to make a living from it, so to speak, right? Everything is always going to be circumstantial. Everything does come down to timing, okay? But just know that it never goes away, Scorpio. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter how much money you have. None of that matters, okay? Scorpios have access to a certain kind of creative force. And when you decide that you are going to build your life around whatever that vision is, the universe will rearrange things for you to make it happen. But also, this is probably the most important thing about all of this, it must be in alignment with your highest good and the highest good of all. What is your vision for it? And how does it impact others? Does it bring healing? Does it bring enjoyment to others? Does it assist? Does it help? Does it add to the tapestry of life? If you can begin to move within this framework of adding to the tapestry of life, adding your unique brushstroke to that tapestry, then there's not much that you won't be able to accomplish within the framework of what the divine has willed for your life, Scorpio. You just have to believe. And a lot of the times for Scorpios, believing is the hardest part because a lot of you have just gone through so many years of turmoil and just setbacks and rejections and whatever it may be for you, that you just get to this point now where you're hearing a message like this and it still feels like it's a world away. But you can turn this all around in a moment, Scorpio, by changing your mindset and releasing the lack mentality which most Scorpios suffer with. Surrender, presence, sovereignty leads to access, Scorpios. And right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Pentacles. So there's a lot of pentacles showing up here, Scorpios, okay? But the Page of Pentacles, this is the first step of manifestation. See, for a lot of you, you just need to understand how this needs to unfold. And as soon as you begin to do this, then the universe comes through and says, all right, Scorpio, we're here. We're ready to help you out with this, right? This little garden gnome looking creature here, that's a representative of the divine, right? He's giving you the coin, saying, okay, let's do this. Let's make it happen. See, this is the full gamut from the 1 to the 10. And again, this emphasis on you as a child, right? It's something you've always had within you. It's something you've always known and felt. Yeah, I just heard a natural gift, a natural talent. I'm also hearing something about rewriting what success looks like to you, okay? And I feel that this is very important in this time that we're living in right now, because we have access to a lot more tools with social media, and you don't necessarily need to go the old traditional route of becoming noticed or having success. You can have success in a relatively small community these days, okay? So when you begin to look at things from this sort of perspective, the path to that manifestation actually becomes kind of doable, because you're not holding on to an old belief system of how you think it's supposed to look, which is based on an old, outdated belief system. See, a lot of the times Scorpios hold themselves back by not being able to release an idea of how they think something is supposed to look. When a lot of the times, Scorpios, you just need to start from a fresh slate, right? Strip away an idea of what you think something is supposed to be or look like, and just give it to the universe. Let the universe clear the path for you. Just accept and say yes, and then allow the magic to unfold all around you. What do we have at the throat, please? Nine of Wands. Sag energy at the throat. Now, the Nine of Wands here is further confirming what I was saying about this idea of releasing control. Nine of Wands is an energy that's very resilient, but it's also an energy that wants to test your faith. It's an energy that wants you to have courage, determination, and to surrender to the idea that the universe just might be able to show you a better way. It's like you have been running the same karmic cycle year after year, Scorpio, trying to get something to take here, so to speak. And the universe is asking you to stop and refuse that cycle now and start implementing changes in your life that see you releasing not only the need for control, but again, the idea of what you think something should look like. Yes, like I mentioned, you have the vision, and a lot of what you're doing here is in direct alignment with that original vision, and life has just had a way of causing you to rewrite a kind of narrative, which has now seen you moving down a path where that vision has become kind of watered down. It's become something else. And that right there is the limiting belief system by which you are now trying to manifest said manifestation with. And a lot of you have been doing this without even realizing it. It's like life has, again, influenced you to move down a certain path in a certain way, and you're not even realizing, you haven't even taken the time out to step back and check in with yourself, because it's turned into something far different. It's like stopping yourself in the middle of something, in the middle of some motion, and saying, wait, what am I doing here? This is nothing like what I originally had in mind. And Scorpio, the Nine of Wands is an energy that speaks about you placing some sort of boundary between you and a certain energy. Now, this could have to do with some sort of outside influence that you need to distance yourself from so you can realize why you wanted to go down this path to begin with. Again, the check-in is so important. It's like getting so consumed by the everyday grind of life and then stopping yourself and asking, wait, am I actually happy? Because I forgot to check. And then you realize that, no, I'm not happy with this. What happened? I lost myself somewhere along the way. Who are you? Who are all these people? Where am I? And that right there is a perfect example of a space where most Scorpios will find themselves at some point in their life. It's like an energy of relinquishing control over what actually makes you happy, because a part of you also just wants other people to be happy. This is one of Scorpio's greatest traits and biggest flaws, because somewhere in there you forget about yourself. But this can also speak about the kinds of people, right, that Scorpios have to align themselves with, because the right kind of people won't allow you to do that, right? They'll be looking out for you too. But Scorpios can quite often find themselves in spaces where they're really being taken advantage of, drained, losing sight of what makes them happy and their visions and their manifestations, what they want to do. Scorpios a lot of the times will give up their own dreams to help other people succeed at theirs. What do we have at the third eye spirit? Whoa. Wow, Scorpio. I just switched decks. 10 of Pentacles again, okay? 2 10 of Pentacles. And we only have 6 cards on the table. 9, 10, 10. This couldn't be any clearer. Surrender to the divine, okay? Things are going to happen the way the divine wants them to, not the way you want them to. Understand, 3 of Wands, again, that this journey is the most important part of all of this. The details of how you got to where you got to when you get there. The details of what it looked like to get to the destination, right? And then the 9 of Pentacles, realizing that you have access to a certain set of keys that others don't. And 10 of Pentacles, a little glimpse and an understanding that life and all of its circumstances has been trying to take something away from you that has been with you since the moment of inception. And the 9 of Wands at this throat position, you understanding all of this now, gaining perspective and ruthlessly setting boundaries and rejecting certain common denominators in your life that have been there for every pitfall and every roadblock that you have ever encountered. Wow. Seen you digging in my mind's eye, Scorpio. You got a shovel, you're down in this trench and you're just digging away. It's like you're digging for something, you're looking for something, but just speaks more about you leaving no stone unturned to make this vision a reality. But you can dig all day and never find it, because right there at the top of that trench, the people handing you your shovel, the people that are supposed to be carrying the dirt away as you're digging it out of the hole, are just pouring it back into the hole without you even knowing it. They're just keeping you inside a loop. It's not about digging any deeper. It's about looking at the person who's been handing you the shovel, because they know that you didn't even need to dig to begin with. They just sent you on a wild goose chase. A kind of sick joke, Scorpio. These 2 10 of Pentacles are different in that here we see you again as a child, and it's like you're discovering something here, something that was given to you. And now we're seeing you here later on in life, living inside of this energy. 10 to 10. The absolute focus of this entire reading, Scorpio, is foundational security, generational wealth, and legacy. There's an incredibly profound emphasis on something that you are heading towards. This is the kind of manifestation that most people spend a good chunk of their life fully actualizing. And it goes back to what we were saying at the beginning of the reading with that Knight of Pentacles about the surrender, right? It's like Spirit saying, hey, Scorpio, do less. Let us show you the way, okay? You're doing far too much. And a lot of it has to do with your surroundings and or certain mindsets and belief systems. That's where you need to put all your focus on right now. Break those patterns. And then right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so following what I'm saying, Seven of Pentacles is an energy of patience, right? It's also an energy that speaks about you receiving the fruits for your labor. See, Scorpios have to work for everything. Nothing is handed to you on a silver platter. It's a part of your archetype. Again, it goes back to what I said about the journey, right? It's like you need to know every last detail, every step, and you need to be able to explain it to others. That's a part of your purpose, a part of your mission in this life. A lot of you are certain kinds of teachers, and it doesn't mean that you need to be in front of a classroom or be speaking to large groups of people. It could just be you having a conversation with somebody in passing, and they take something from that conversation. You teach them something simply by speaking on your personal experiences. You do this a lot of the times without even realizing it. And then that person goes off and implements that into their own life. Maybe they pass along that information. They create domino effects, ripples, right? This is what Scorpios do. You create ripples. The ripple is created by you finding yourself. Unbelievable. And then right underneath the Seven of Pentacles here, we have the Nine of Cups. So Nine of Cups to me would really speak about finding yourself. It's an energy where you have become emotionally fulfilled within yourself, which is also what allows you to access this path. So we have seen the Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and then the Seven of Pentacles here, which is basically confirming to us that all of this. Oh, look. You got a shovel right there, right? Yeah, I just heard all of this is a surrender away. You know, the fact that we're seeing the shovel here, right? Before you were digging in the trench. It's like people saying, no, Scorpio, dig over there. Okay, keep digging. Nah, I think you got to dig over there. And all the while, they're pouring the dirt back into the hole. But it's like here, you surrender to the divine, and the divine says, Scorpio, don't listen to any of these people. Just dig right here, okay? As soon as you start digging, you're going to see some sort of reward for your effort here, okay? It's not supposed to be this hard. What do we have at the crown, please? Wow. High Priestess. Pisces energy at the crown. Divine guidance. Earth energy. Aries. Virgo. Virgo. Sag. Virgo. Pisces. It's interesting. We have a lot of mutable energy here. Mutable energies are energies that like change. They're malleable, right? But yet we began the reading with this kind of stubborn Knight of Pentacles energy, which dislikes change. It's fixed. This is how all Scorpios naturally are, right? There's a stubbornness there to it, which isn't bad by any means. It just means that when you learn how to overcome that and allow the change to unfold in your life, it's big, okay? Even though Scorpios don't like change, once they finally do change, they never look back. Now, the High Priestess here is really confirming to me what I'm picking up here about divine guidance and you following the divine's lead. The divine is speaking to you through your intuition, through Mother Nature is what I just heard as well, the elements, okay? It's like that owl there is dropping wisdom on you. See, Scorpio, you have spent a lifetime digging in the wrong location, year after year after year, and just not seeing the change, thinking that if you just keep working hard, if you just keep digging, eventually you'll find it. And all this has led you to think, Scorpio, is that something is just not for you, right? When the divine is saying to you, hey, Scorpio, why don't you try digging over there? You don't have to dig that deep, Scorpio. Just get a little dirty. And all of a sudden, from one day to the next, everything changes. Don't give up now, Scorpio. Just change your approach. You're all so committed that you'll keep holding on to something even when it's damaging you. But it's time to leave all that behind. That's not what the divine has willed for your life. A lot of Scorpios think that the divine wants you to suffer in order to get something. This is a huge misconception, when in reality, the divine just wants you to realize that when it comes to what you have been assigned, nobody knows better than you. So stop taking advice or guidance from fools who don't know any better than you. Put the power in your own hands where it belongs and get to it. A lot of you are at the point where you have nothing left to lose, right? You've exhausted every possibility except the one that you thought of. And watch, as soon as you start implementing that, you're going to begin to see the breakthrough. And this is going to tell you all you need to know about your environment, the people in your life, and the outdated belief systems and or lack mindsets that you have been clinging on to, which are probably generational anyway. What do we have at the foundation, please, Spirit? Four of Wands. Aries energy at the foundation. Okay, so this Four of Wands here, again, is following what I'm saying because it speaks about communication breakdown, or you just starting to realize what we're saying here. You're like, wait a second. The more I dig, the further I'm getting away from said manifestation. This is something that you have now confirmed. So you direct your focus on these energies that have been influencing you to move in that direction, which creates turmoil. The Four of Wands from this deck can speak about facing off with people, arguments. It can also speak about you moving on from these people, whatever this means for you, okay? For those of you that are in environments where these people live with you or are in your everyday waking life, so to speak, or you just communicate with these people all the time, this is you removing yourself from those spaces or no longer allowing these people to access you the way they once did. A lot of the times when you're not seeing movement in your life, no matter how hard you try, no matter what you implement, you need to redirect your focus on the other common denominators around your life. What is the influence that surrounds you? And whether it's something that those individuals are doing or projecting onto you or influencing you to do, you need to take responsibility for that and do what you have to do. What do we have at the sacral, please? Eight of Wands, Sag energy at the sacral. The Eight of Wands is typically an energy of movement, changes, but from this deck, it reads in its shadow. So it's like no matter how much effort you put into something, you're not seeing the change. And it's right underneath this Three of Wands. And I was mentioning that Three of Wands was speaking about paying attention to the details of your journey, right? But this can also speak about paying attention to the surrounding energies in your life. I'm hearing something about being a fly on the wall. Now, this can speak about changing perspective, changing vantage point. It's like thinking about your life, okay, from a higher perspective, from the perspective of the universe, and asking the universe how they might move if they had control over your movements, right? See, you have free will. And also by disengaging enough from the moment. I just feel that you're so focused right now on trying to make something work and not seeing any sort of result, which is highly discouraging. But all it takes is that step back, resorting the ingredients or the way you're executing something to begin seeing the movement. It's like working on something, obsessing over something, just trying to get it right, when the way you get it right is by letting go of control in that moment. Just start stepping away for a spell. It's like being in some sort of trance or just so locked in to trying to get things to go in a certain way, which is all a result of some sort of external influence. It's like the universe is saying to you, hey, Scorpio, got to step back here. You can't really see what's going on around you. Where you are right now is a result of some sort of outside force that you can't really see because you didn't think to look. What do we have? The solar plexus, please. Knight of Pentacles again. Earth energy at the solar plexus. Now, this Knight of Pentacles reads differently than this one, and it also follows what I just said, right? I was speaking about obsessing over something, right? Not seeing that you need to take a step back and reevaluate the way you're approaching something because it's sort of, because the essence of something has been lost, right? And that's exactly what this Knight of Pentacles means. This Knight of Pentacles right here reads like Knight of Pentacles in its shadow. It's literally, by definition, an obsessive, stubborn, grinding energy. It's like an energy that's like, no, 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 no. I know I can make this work. I know I can make this work, right? And the universe is like, whoa, 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 Scorpio. No, no, no. No, no. You're doing too much. Some of you have just had so much pressure put on you by outside influence that you have simply forgot that you're supposed to be doing this for you, not other people. See, another thing that Scorpios are quite often manipulated into thinking that they need to do is make other people proud of them or other people happy for them, only to realize that it never comes. And you're about to find that out as well, Scorpio. And what I mean by that is once you start to understand what's taking place here and you really start to see a breakthrough and some success come through here, those people who tried to influence your moves, those people whose acceptance you wanted or you just wanted them to see your worth, for a lot of you it's probably family. Well, when you begin to actually succeed at what you have going on here, they won't be around to congratulate you. And this is when you realize that they're not comfortable with you having the success. They're comfortable with you chasing your tail. See, Scorpios have the ability to have incredible success in your life. Your creativity sees no limits. Creativity is not the problem. The execution of these things is not the problem. It's the influence and support that you have around you which is the problem. And you're not born knowing that. It takes a lifetime to figure that out. A lot of the time, Scorpios, when you get this success, it's something that you're going to be enjoying on your own or with new people that are in your life, not people that were around when you were in the dirt digging. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow. These cards are following every sentence precisely. Because right here, we have the Ten of Pentacles again. We have 3 Ten of Pentacles on this table. Okay, but this Ten of Pentacles is different. This Ten of Pentacles here acts like they're sticking their neck out for you. Hey, Scorpio, I have your best interest in mind. Yes, you just got to go over there, Scorpio. Just keep digging over there. That's how you're going to get this Ten of Pentacles. Trust me, Scorpio. I would never let you down. Right? Blasphemy. And I feel that that is really speaking about these people playing God in your life. See, these people just can't seem to move out of the way. I just heard, yeah, live and let live, right? It's like they somehow just want control over your life because they lack control over theirs. These people are trying to deny the existence of God in your life and instead want you to look to them as your God. Now, this is just a more extreme example of saying that they don't want you to listen to your intuition and your own guidance, that God, the divine, is giving you to be able to step into this legacy energy. And they know, okay, exactly what's in the cards for you, all right? It's like here you are born with some sort of gift, some sort of vision, some sort of purpose. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, if we get to Scorpio when they're still a child, we can guide them down this path here, which is away from this Ten of Pentacles completely realized. And we can redirect this Ten of Pentacles energy into our life. We can steal Scorpio's purpose, steal their destiny. But on this side of the deck, there's an unbelievable amount of wealth, finances, abundance in this reading, Scorpio. Ace of Pentacles, divine blessings. Look, Eye of God, right? Watching everything go down. Oh yes, Scorpio, we've been watching everything. From the moment you were just a child, we've watched this slimy, necked creature just trying to redirect you from the mission that we gave you before you were even birthed into this life cycle. We knew this was going to go down just like this, Scorpio. It was all a part of the plan. This Ace of Pentacles right here is confirming what I said about each detail of your journey being the key here, right? It's all a part of it. See, there's layers to this. The Ace of Pentacles is an energy of the divine giving you something, okay? Something that's actually going to make a real world impact. And this is one of the main cards, if not the main card of manifestation. Here's your legacy, right? And then here's the direct opposition to it. This is like 10 of Pentacles in its negative polarity. It also speaks about family, community, people that are close to you, trying to stand in your way from achieving something. What do we have at the throat, please, for Scorpio? Wow. Wheel of Fortune. We have all the big hitters here. 9, 10, 10 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Metatron, the recording angel. Advancement and progress. Teaches, guides, and records events in the book of life. Again, confirming what I was saying about everything having to unfold exactly like this, right? Remember what I said? Teaches, guides, right? It's like you go through this process, and then one day, maybe in passing, you come across somebody who's going through something similar. You offer up a few words of wisdom that you have no idea is going to impact their life in such a meaningful way, and boom, all of a sudden, that person is aligning with their divine inheritance. And so on, and so on. It just keeps rippling out. Okay? The Wheel of Fortune here is an energy that is representing your destiny and life cycles. It's also speaking about a tremendous amount of karma, good karma that has accumulated for you, Scorpio, and is waiting for you on an alternate timeline. All of this, 10 of Pentacles energy, okay? All you have to do is believe and have hope. That's it. That right there will give you vibrational access to this Wheel of Fortune energy, okay? It's like saying, once you begin to self-actualize, the wheel will begin to turn. And the process by which you begin to self-actualize is going to look a whole lot like this. This is just a kind of general example. But you got to take a gamble on yourself here, Scorpio, okay? And that's also what the Wheel of Fortune represents. Gambling, but on you. Don't gamble on other people. It's about you. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Too many cards. What do we have at the third eye? Too many cards. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Too many cards. Nine of Swords, Gemini energy at the third eye. That came out in reverse. I only read these cards as uprights, just like I only read these cards as reversals, negative polarities. These are positive polarities, okay? Demons, angels, support, resistance. This Nine of Swords here is speaking about these forces that the divine is trying to help you overcome right now. On this illustration, we see you there, right? And then there's this little blindfolded demon cherub on your back. It's like they're trying to stop you from moving forward, right? And then we have this representative of the divine trying to swat that little demon cherub off of your back. It says right there, purification, okay? So I just heard, forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they do, okay? Which is just... yeah, wow, I just got a ring into my ear right as I said that. Yeah, this is biblical, Scorpio. This feels like something straight out of Scripture. And honestly, I'm not really surprised, because a fully self-actualized Scorpio is nothing short of biblical. Scorpios, once you begin to realize what's going on here, you begin to redirect yourself. Any sort of anxiety, depression, you may have been feeling will begin to spill away because it doesn't belong to you. All of a sudden, you just feel this rush of healing beginning to consume you from the divine once you clean up your energetic environment. Now, a more simple way of putting what I'm saying is once you cut the toxicity out of your life, you're going to feel a whole lot better because you're going to realize that a lot of those things you were feeling weren't actually coming from you. They were coming from the surroundings, the influence, the supposed support in your life. Right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Swords. Okay, so the Six of Swords is an energy of moving on, okay? It's an energy of a rite of passage as well. You can speak about relocation for some of you, moving, travel. It says right there, heals the sick. So it follows this energy perfectly because healing the sick, that can just speak about what I mentioned in regards to any sort of anxiety and depression, right? That came from being in this cycle with these people, just all of a sudden no longer being something that you deal with. All right, what do we have the crown to close this out for Scorpio, please? Too many cards. What do we have with the crown? Too many cards. What do we have with the crown, please? What do we have with the crown, please? What do we have with the crown, please? Three of Pentacles, Capricorn energy at the crown. Now, the Three of Pentacles here is speaking about a collaboration that you have with the divine right underneath this High Priestess, okay? See, when you start to understand that there has been this alternate influence in your life that has been blocking you from fully investing into your higher guidance, everything changes, Scorpio. It's like the universe saying, yeah, we have always been here. We've always been guiding you. Even when you felt like we had forgotten about you. The problem was that you had this alternate influence around you. Even if you don't have anybody in your life that's influencing you, it's a mindset that was programmed into you at a very young age, okay? So for some of you, it is people around you. For others, a limiting belief system. Right here, it says mental force. This is you beginning to understand this now, breaking this particular cycle in your life, surrendering to the divine, shutting out all noise, and understanding very clearly that anybody that tries to influence you to move a certain way down your path is trying to not only play God in your life, but God the divine sees it as a form of blasphemy because they're speaking against the divine's will for your life. And if it's a mindset, this is you realizing that the only thing that has stopped you from having this breakthrough is you not having the confidence and belief in yourself that you could actually do it. And in some of your cases, you're dealing with both. But however this is showing up for you, Scorpio, I have to say that it's been a while since I've seen this amount of wealth and success in a reading, okay? This is monumental forms of wealth, okay? Again, we have all the big hitters, Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. And when you get the Knight of Pentacles in combination with all these cards, this actually puts more weight behind it because as I mentioned, that energy, that Knight of Pentacles is like a tank, right? You turn that Knight of Pentacles into these 10 of Pentacles. So Scorpio, however this reading shows up in your life, I hope it's provided you with some insight and perspective over what you may be dealing with in your everyday waking life. So go get it, Scorpio, because it's waiting for you. All right, Scorpios, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. If you would like to support my channel, there are a few ways you can go about doing this. Of course, donations are always greatly appreciated, and I would like to extend my gratitude to everybody who continues to support my channel. I have an online store which is made up of items that I have designed myself, which are extensions of the creative universe of my channel. The link can be found down below if that's something that you would also like to check out. Information for personal readings can also be found down below. But lastly, Scorpios, I would like to know how this reading resonated with you. So please leave me a heart and or a comment, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.